This is Colossians chapter 3 and verse 4. When Christ, who is our life, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory. Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry. For which things' sake the wrath of God cometh on the children of disobedience, in the which ye also walked some time when ye lived in them. But now ye also put off all of these: anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth. Lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds, and have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him. Where there is neither Greek nor Jew, circumcision nor uncircumcision, barbarian, Scythian, bond nor free, but Christ is all and in all. Put on therefore as the elect of God, holy and beloved, bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, longsuffering, forbearing one another, and forgiving one another. If any man have a quarrel against any, even as Christ forgave you, so also do ye. So I was thinking about interesting study that I'm going to look more into. I'm at Selmer. I'm at this apartment. I'm going to do some studying. Just got here from Shiloh. I'm at this apartment underneath a church that I'll be attending service tomorrow. This is thankful, really nice place to stay. So I've been camping for a while, and now I'm here. But I was thinking about this, that it's interesting. Here is something that I noticed. I remember growing up, and I remember personally hearing from churches, from pulpits, from pastors, from Christians, as a young kid, Christians saying, you cannot be a Christian and an Indian at the same time. I have heard preachers say that in order to be a Christian, you have to stop being an Indian. That is interesting, because for centuries, American Christianity has been trying to remove the identity of American Indians. So much so that they say you cannot be a Christian and an Indian at the same time. Yet, the greatest and most significant influence in America for religious liberty came about by Roger Williams being banished from the early colonies and going out on Rhode Island, living on Rhode Island among the Indians like the Indians. In order for Roger Williams to have success, he took up the manners and customs of the Indians and lived like the Indians and promoted. And the same is true with John Eliot, the Puritan missionary. He saw the success of Roger Williams, and he adapted the same means that Roger Williams used of going out and living like the Indians. And God blessed that, as there was thousands of conversions. It's interesting how people have an idea of what a Christian should be and look like, but yet their heart is so far removed from the love of Jesus and from the true meaning of the gospel. I thought about that. That's an interesting, and another interesting thought is reading these signs on the Trail of Tears, and where they identify the tribes coming through on the Trail of Tears, and they refer to them as immigrants. The Cherokee immigrants, the Indian immigrants, the Creek immigrants, the Choctaw immigrants. these are native tribal people of this land, and they're referred to as immigrants as they're being removed from their homelands and moved to new territory. So it's interesting reading about the history, how a Christian nation removed Christian tribes. You have the Civil War, Christians fighting Christians, and both sides begging in prayer to God for victory, begging for protection and safety. And here you have a Christian nation, which in the practice hasn't been very much Christian, because you can't have a Christian nation. There is no such thing in the Bible. You cannot find a Christian nation. Out of a Christian nation came Christianization, which is an interesting word, and the concept of it that came from a melding of religion and education together. And if you would not accept it, then the military force would be used to support it. That's Christianization. The use of education and religion being used by the government to create a society with, if necessary, the force of a military. That is what's defined in the Indian policies of the United States, and what the United States government termed as Christianization. Christianization is not a peaceful term. It was a term used to conquer people through force if necessary, but first through education and religious programs. So that's interesting. So just wanted to share those thoughts. I'm here in Selmer, back on 64, getting ready to pick up the Bell Route. The Bell Route actually came out of Crump, Adamsville area, east of here, and went north. It didn't follow 64. It went north, and it was an old wagon or old stage line that it followed into Purdy, and then into Bethel Springs, I think is the next town. But those were just back roads. It was a back old highway, not a highway, but a stage line that came through. Then they came up north over here by Higginbottom, I think, road, and close to 64. So there's a historical marker over there I'll go take a look at. And yes, so here I am in Selmer, Tennessee. It's been good. God has been good. The Lord has been good.